Chew. Yes, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck, Happenings in the YouTube Atheist Community. So, it's kind of a good night last night, Stickham, but we'll get to that later. Start off with Fake Sagan, did his blog TV thing. I was a little worried about competing with the Fake Sagan, but it turned out okay, I think. I don't know how many people he ended up with in his room. Don't know too many details. All I got was like a 7-minute video that's on his blog TV channel page. And he actually comes off as a bit of an asshole, which is probably no surprise, but I kind of suspected there might have been a real person behind the Fake Sagan, but I was wrong. Okay, he's a bigger asshole as a person than he is as a personality, apparently. Basically called that Richard C. Dick Culligan guy, whatever, he called him like a faggot. Yeah, that's what he said. He called him a faggot. It's kind of crude and rude. Bitched about his birthmark again. I mean, just really, he's having a conversation with Amazing Atheists, and they were just ragging on people. And it was just so juvenile and petty. Really sucked. So anyway, and then somebody else posted a video of him, taking mescaline, apparently. Maybe they were charcoal tablets. Maybe he's just playing. Maybe he's just funning some more with people. Drinking his little stubby beers. He looks kind of lame drinking his stubby beers. But then, it ended up just that he's spinning around in his chair and making faces into the camera and shit like that. And you're like, how lame is this guy? We've all seen Ocean. I mean, she's kind of hot, looks good in her underwear, that's for sure. And, what the fuck? You can't find nothing better to do with his time than spin around in his chair and make faces into a video camera? I'd say that's the definition of a loser. That's what I would say. A big loser. So anyway, didn't look too good to me. Didn't look like a charming guy. People talk about, that'd be a nice guy to have a beer with. I'm doubting it now. Fake Sagan doesn't seem like a nice guy at all. And I think as a drunk, he's probably a piece of shit. So anyway, something to be avoided. But anyway, he came off looking pretty bad. Coughlin is the other guy. I don't know why I can't remember names. Richard Coughlin. So anyway, that came up a couple of times for whatever reason. So the Amazing Atheist, we'll get to his video, did an hour and a half of answering his questions, answered some of the questions I answered, which was kind of strange. But he did say something. He actually said something not disagreeable. He said if somebody wants to commit suicide, they should go to the Amendum channel to get themselves in the mood. And that seemed a fair remark. Yeah, that's about right. I'm probably good at that. Yeah, if you want a good rationalization, you want to get yourself all worked up to pull the trigger, I'm probably the guy to talk to. Or listen to. But whatever. Then he didn't say much else in the video. I slept through a lot of it, I have to admit. I was tired, been up all night. And I was dreaming while I was listening to it, which was kind of funny. And it was kind of a good dream, though, because it's like that Stephanie Strand girl, the guitar player girl that I like. She was playing on the radio, when I was getting on the fishing boat. And that was pretty cool, because I was like, oh, she made it. Yeah, I was all kind of happy for her. She's a little worried about being successful, though, so I was, I didn't want her to get too much success, but it was nice. And I was on a fishing boat, which is kind of cool. I hadn't gone fishing in a long time. I wasn't really fishing. I was just doing the boating thing, really. It was just interesting being on the old boat again. And there was a kid on the boat, and I think he was Matt. Matt was in Stickham last night. It was kind of nice to see Matt again. And the kid caught a fish, and I was happy for the kid. I was like, oh yeah, he's getting to catch a fish, and he really likes it, and it's fun. And and I was saying, I'm not going to tell him about the fact that the fish is a feeling animal, and it's you're fucking on with a fish's day, and you kind of just ruined his whole day. And so I wasn't going to bother with any of that crap, because I said, it's just a kid, and let him have his moment. And so that was kind of funny, this whole psychology going on. It's related to what we talked about all night, so if you're not getting it, you're not getting it. So I'll move on, because you're probably not getting it. There wasn't much else in the Amazing Atheist's video. He did a response to the Coughlin guy in the video, and that all seemed pretty. I didn't listen to all of it. The stuff I slept through, I tried to go back and pick up the stuff I missed, but it just wasn't worth it. It was just pretty uninteresting vlog, an hour and a half of uninteresting mush. I can't even think. I mean, I couldn't even write down anything that was really interesting. I mean, he did kind of Freudian slip. I mean, he said my name instead of the Coughlin guy when he was talking about Peaches, the girlfriend. So he actually gave me a girlfriend, which was kind of cool. So, and then Peaches came up in the Stickam room. So there's a lot of cross references here. I couldn't remember who Peaches was, so that's my bad. Because, you know, apparently she had made a comment on one of my videos somewhere, and I think I went to her channel, or we had some, I don't know, but whatever. So, yeah, whatever. It's very confusing. But, you know, she's meeting up with the Coughlin guy in September in, you know, this area, New York, New Jersey area. So, you know, maybe we should get some more people and see if we can do like the first YouTube orgy or something. That might be cool. But whatever. That's kind of a pipe dream, probably. But anyway, moving on. I don't think there's anything else. The Amazing Atheist was just boring. I don't know what to say. Alright, so we'll just go to Stickam because there really wasn't much else happening in the YouTube atheist community. So it was a really good night. I thought going in it was going to be a disaster because I wasn't, you know, I've been having a bad week, didn't feel good. I figured I was just going to bail on the night. But no, it turned out really good, and the fake Sagan thing wasn't a problem. It was a good turnout, and turns out that guy, Math Fails guy, really isn't as bad as the last couple of videos exchanges we had. We got along okay, for the most part. And Matt was in the room for quite a while, and so I hadn't talked to Matt in a while, and I thought it was pretty good. So we did the whole meaning of life thing, and I thought it was a constructive conversation. At least it gave me a more clear idea, maybe, as to why people are doing this, you know, contriving hope thing and making life try to make sense when it really doesn't. And but we'll see. I mean, I don't know if there's any middle ground there. I mean, it still pisses me off that people choose the delusion, and that's basically what it is. But we won't get into all that crap. That Misty Mayhem, she's like a girl from that Vloggerhead's place, but she also has a YouTube channel, so I should post a link. I mean, I really should be able to do it, but maybe I won't. But anyway, yeah, she's kind of interesting. She's kind of flamboyant, you know, which is a little spooky. But she has this whole dark, sad, pitiful side too. So she's a really interesting person, talented, does the singing thing and all that kind of crap. And you know, but she was in the room, but she was only briefly because apparently some car crashed into her telephone pole and people were robbing each other and all kinds of chaos took place outside of where she lives. And so her internet's got kicked off. She got kicked off. So maybe next time, next Saturday. So what else? All right, so yeah, but the Stickam room was good. Karina was there, of course, and she was there early. And the Emerson girl showed up. She was missing for a couple of weeks, but she showed up, and that pleased me. California, you know, Younglist, whatever, was there, which was excellent. But she was like the little Cheshire cat thing in the, you know, Alice in Wonderland. You just could see her smile. You really couldn't see her much. But it was just nice having her around. Didn't get to say a proper goodbye, though. Juliet was there, but didn't have much conversation with Juliet either. But she looked charming. So, you know, it helps. You know, I know it sounds trivial, but it does. It's a nice atmosphere the women's create. Speaking of women's, Karina's video, you probably should see it. It's on that whole, you know, Muslim thing with the beating of the women and the controlling of the women stuff, and it's sort of an important subject, so you probably should see that video just to get a context of why Islam is a little bit damn spooky. I mean, they're spooky for a lot of reasons, but that inability to appreciate that, you know, you got to do better than, I don't know how do you even describe people. It's like, you know, they might as well own slaves. I mean, it's pitiful. So she did a really good job of making it pretty clear that, you know, women shouldn't take this shit. Shouldn't have to even fight it. They shouldn't even have to make a fight for this basic respect. So what else? Citizen Worm showed up late, but we didn't get along at the end. She's just so pretentious, pompous, pontificating. I mean, I never saw a pothead. Oh, that's good. Pontificating, pretentious, whatever the other word I said, pothead. I mean, it just really don't go together. I mean, most druggies are pretty mellow, and she is just so full of herself, you know. And so, you know, the ending remark was something like, even stoned on 10 million drugs, I'm more logical than you. And it was just like, oh, please. You know, she really thinks truth comes through the distortion of your personality through drugs. And she thinks she's some sort of typical drug user, which is really a silly joke. We know what the average asshole, we know what he is on drugs, and he's a super asshole. Most people don't get smarter when they're fucking high. They just get to be a bigger asshole. So I'm running out of time. Sorry, it's just a little low on content, but it was really a nice night last night. I really liked it. There was lots of philosophy, no dead spot. The only dead spot was Cody showed up, and it was like a little awkward 80 seconds because he was in the room. And but as soon as he found out there was a fake Sagan room, he boogied. So yeah, don't bother showing up again, Cody. I mean, that was a little rude. So fuck you for that one. Yeah, not really. You just don't fit the personality of the room. It's just not hip enough for you. So anyway, enough said. Till next time.